What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Parker Beats, and so I wanted to talk about the good old NBA preview and my finals predictions. So I wanted to talk about 6 teams, 3 teams from the East and 3 teams from the West. So I started out right now on my computer. I have the roster changes, and obviously I wanted to start it off with the Brooklyn Nets. They moved to a different city. They have a new logo, and I haven't seen them play, so I'm not exactly sure how well they will be, but they got Marshawn Brooks, Chris Humphries, Brooke Lopez, Gerald Wallace, and Darren Williams. Now, they let go of Gerald Green, and Gerald Green is he's playing amazingly ever since I think he went over to either China or Europe, and he came back, and dude's been absolutely unbelievable. I can't believe they let him go. But I'd love to see the Brooklyn Nets, but I'm thinking that they will do well this season. So I'm picking them to be third or fourth in the Eastern Conference. Next, we have the Bulls, and obviously the Bulls do not have Derrick Rose, which is I don't know how I have no idea how it's going to be. They lost Ronnie Brewer, Mike James, Kyle Korver, John Lucas III, Brian Scalabrine, and C.J. Watson, and they did get Nate Robinson and Kirk Heinrich and Bellinelli, and I'm not sure if Rose will be back this season. That's really going to be kind of like an up-to-date thing, and I'm hoping that he does get back, because I definitely know he is an exciting player, and best of luck to you. Prayers for you, Derrick Rose. Next team is obviously the defending champs, the good old Miami Heat, and I definitely know that they have a strong team, though for some reason I can't find. Here we go. Yeah, so I know they definitely added Ray Allen and Rashard Lewis to kind of open the floor a bit, so they still got LeBron and Dwayne Wade, though that is my pick to be repeat NBA champs. I think, as we're right here, my finals prediction will be the Heat versus the Thunder. I know a lot of people have their eyes on the Lakers, and I'll talk about them in just a bit, but I don't know. I see the Thunder as with their teammate chemistry doing damage like they did to the Spurs last year. Um, so I know that they have a great team, and even though they're older players, I think they'll still do a big lift, and they'll help out the team. So that's it for the East. So I'm expecting the Heat to finish first to top that conference, with the Bulls being second. I'm thinking the Heat and the Bulls will go to the Eastern Conference Finals, but I'm thinking that the Heat will move on and go to the NBA Finals. Now in the West, we have the good old LA Lakers, and everybody knows about Canadian boy Steve Nash going there, and also Dwight Howard, big man. Not sure about his back, though. I know he's healthy, and I know he's played in preseason, but it's a possibility that his back could have a big factor. And obviously, Kobe is just a scoring machine. Who did they get? They lost Bynum. Yeah, Bynum went to the 76ers. I remember that trade. They lost not really any other big names, but I'm just wondering how the teammate chemistry will be, because if it's like amazing chemistry like the Heat had when their first season was, they will make it to the finals. I know they will, and they have a great opportunity with the team they have right now. So I'm expecting them to finish either 1 or 2. The next team I want to talk about was the Thunder. Now, we haven't heard a lot about the Oklahoma City Thunder, but I think that's why, is because there's been so much going on in the West that nobody's really talked about them. I mean, yeah, you've talked about the NBA champions, but you haven't talked about who they faced. Now, I like LeBron, and I like how good he is on that court, but I also do. I do like Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, and seeing how well they work together. They're such a great dynamic duo. Now adding James Harden into this mix, they were unstoppable when they played against the Spurs. They lost the first 2 games, and then after just completely destroyed them. So let's see, they lost Derek Fisher. Who did they get? Hasheem Thabeet. He was good in college, but he hasn't really been doing much. So no, they still have a strong team, and they're a young team as well. So I think they have a great chance to be either one. I'm thinking they'll be number one in that conference or number two. And the last team I want to talk about was the Spurs, because I know nobody really takes them seriously, and they've kind of just lost their edge. But that team has been like the same team forever. They only lost two players, a guy named James Anderson and Derek Byers, and they got Nando De Colo and Josh Powell. But they have, how many? They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They have like 13, like 12 or 13 players who are returning. And they've always had Tim Duncan, and they've also had Tony Parker. Who else? Dwan Blair has been there. I'm happy that they have Corey Joseph, because I know he was a Canadian, and I'm pretty sure he played at Syracuse. And yeah, I know they might be a sleeper team, and obviously they, against the Thunder, a lot of people were expecting them to go to the finals. But I really think that the Spurs can do well as long as players stay healthy. And their teammate chemistry, right, with also having Ginobili, too. So I feel like they will finish in the top 5, or the top 6 at least. Be on the lookout for Brandon Roy. I heard that he has no cartilage in both of his knees, which is quite scary, but I'm happy that he returned. I'm super excited to see him play. He played last night against the Pistons, which was a preseason game in Winnipeg, which is pretty cool. So be on the lookout for him to do well. Derrick Rose is another player who I think people should be on the lookout for. I'm not sure whether or not he's going to return. I think people have been saying he should just sit out the entire season. Some people have been saying January or December. So best luck to you, Derrick Rose. And Anthony Davis. I'm expecting he'll be the Rookie of the Year, but playing with a young Hornets team who was able to get Austin Rivers as well, I think they have a pretty good chance. They won't be the Bobcats. I think they'll be better, but they'll definitely have a good chance to kind of improve their team and start the rebuilding process. So that's really all I wanted to talk about. Thank you for listening, and hopefully tomorrow can be all about the NFL, and then the NHL will be on the good old Saturday. But tune in Sunday. Look at my other channel, Parker Beats 116. And yeah, go Nuggets!